Respected dignitaries and esteemed audience, I, Amrita, take this great pleasure of wishing a pleasant morning and a hearty welcome to you all. Today is not just another day, it's a new opportunity, another chance and a new beginning. Embrace it. With such hope, all of us have gathered here to witness the inaugural program of ICSSR sponsored 2-week capacity building program for newly recruited young faculty in social science. I now request the course director, Professor Ishwara P, to escort the dignitaries onto the dais. For this program, we have with us Professor P. Subramania Edapadithaya, Honorable Vice Chancellor, who is the President and Inaugurator of today's program. Professor Rangappa KB, Professor, Department of Economics, Davangere University as the Chief Guest. Dr. Ismail B, Professor and Head of the Department of Statistics, Enappa University as the Guest of Honor. Professor Y. Muniraju Sir, Professor Ishwara P, Dr. Vedava P and Dr. Preetikirti D'Souza. Thank you sirs and thank you ma'am. The capacity building program has been initiated with an intention to brush up the knowledge of young faculties in the field of research. It's an honor to be a part of this thoughtful program. God's blessings go far beyond anything we could ever imagine. So, to begin with, let us invoke the blessings of the Almighty for the success of the event. I request Ms. Sridhanya to lead us into prayer. I request the audience to be seated.
सिद्धि विनायक स्वामिगे बा सिद्धि विनायक स्वामिगे बा मजिपेनु निन्ननु भक्त मंदारदी मजिपेनु निन्ननु भक्त मंदारदी सिद्धि विनायक स्वामिगे बा ಆದಿಗಿಂದಲೂ ನಿನ್ನ ಆದಿಪೂಜಿತನೆಂದು ಆದಿಗಿಂದಲೂ ನಿನ್ನ ಆದಿಪೂಜಿತನೆಂದು ಅಮರರೆಲ್ಲರೂ ಪೂಜಿಸುತ್ತಿಹರು ಅಮರರೆಲ್ಲರೂ ಪೂಜಿಸುತ್ತಿಹರು ವಿಘ್ನ ವಿನಾಶಕನೇ ಸಿದ್ಧಿಗಣನಾಥನೇ ಷಣ್ಮುಖ ಸೋದರನೇ ಸಕಲರ ಕಾಯುವನೇ ಷಣ್ಮುಖ ಸೋದರನೇ ಸಕಲರ ಕಾಯುವನೇ ಸಿದ್ಧಿ ವಿನಾಯಕ ಸ್ವಾಮಿಗೆ ಬಾ ಮಜಿಪೆನು ನಿನ್ನನು ಭಕ್ತ ಮಂದಾರದಿ ಮಜಿಪೆನು ನಿನ್ನನು ಭಕ್ತ ಮಂದಾರದಿ ಸಿದ್ಧಿ ವಿನಾಯಕ ಸ್ವಾಮಿಗೆ ಬಾ ಸ್ವಾಮಿಗೆ ಬಾ ಸ್ವಾಮಿಗೆ ಬಾ.
Thank you, Sridhanya, for connecting us with God. A word of welcome is a reflection of our heartfelt happiness. To welcome you all who are present here, I request Ms. Neha Dalabanjan.
Very good morning to one and all gathered here. I feel happy and enthusiastic to deliver the welcome address. On this auspicious occasion, I would like to welcome you all for the inaugural program of ICSSR sponsored 2-week capacity building program for newly recruited young faculty in social science. With great pleasure, I welcome President of today's program, Professor P. Subramania Edapadithaya, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Mangalore University. A warm welcome to you, sir. I'm profoundly delighted to welcome today's chief guest, Professor Rangappa KB, Department of Economics, Davangere University. A warm welcome to you, sir. I extend cordial welcome to today's guest of honor, Dr. Ismail B, Professor and HOD, Department of Statistics, Enappa, Mangalore. A hearty welcome to you, sir. I also extend my warm welcome to the coordinator of today's program, Professor Ishwara P, Chairman, Department of Statistics. A warm welcome to you, sir. It's my privilege to welcome Professor Y. Muniraju Sir, Dean, Department of Studies in Commerce. A cordial welcome to you, sir. I also extend my warm welcome to Dr. Parameshwara, the Chairman, Department of Commerce, in his absence. It's my pleasure to welcome Dr. Vedava P., Associate Professor, Department of Commerce. A delightful welcome to you, sir. I also extend enthusiastic welcome to Dr. Preeti Kirti D'Souza, Assistant Professor, Department of Commerce. A warm welcome to you, ma'am. I also extend my amiable welcome to the faculties and research scholars of Department of Commerce. I'm honored to welcome the chairpersons, faculties, and research scholars of other departments. I would love to welcome the resource persons for the upcoming workshop, which is going to happen for the next 2 weeks. With immense pleasure, I would like to welcome all the participants for today's program. I also extend a warm welcome to media personnel. Last but not the least, I would like to welcome all the students gathered here. Once again, I welcome one and all.
Thank you, Sneha. A warm welcome to you too. As a token of welcome, may I request Mr. Naveen, Research Scholar, Department of Commerce, to welcome the President of today's program, Professor P. Subramanian Edapadithaya, by giving a sapling. Thank you, sir. May I request Ms. Shruti, Research Scholar, Department of Commerce, to welcome our chief guest, Professor Rangappa KB. Thank you, ma'am. May I request Mr. Harshit, Research Scholar, Department of Commerce, to welcome the guest of honor of today's program, Dr. Ismail B. Thank you, sir. Knowledge is a precious asset which cannot be stolen by anyone. May I request Professor Ishwara P., Course Director of today's event, to give a brief idea about the capacity building program.
Honorable Vice Chancellor of our university, Professor P.S. Edapadithaya sir, esteemed Chief Guest, Professor Rangappa KB, Professor Department of Economics, Davanagere University, Shivagangotri, and also he was former in-charge Vice Chancellor of Davanagere University for some time. Today's guest of honor, Dr. Ismail B. sir, Professor and Head Department of Statistics, NFI University, Mangalore. Dean Faculty of the Commerce, Professor Y. Muniraj sir, Chairman of the Department, Dr. Parameshwar sir, who is not here due to some prior commitment, MCOM HRD Coordinator, Dr. Vedava P. sir, Dr. Preeti Kirti ma'am, all the faculties and research scholars from the Department of Commerce as well as the Department of Statistics, faculties from other departments, office staff, participants who are coming from different states, different institutions, different universities to this city building program, media friends and my dear students. Very good morning to you all. At the outset, I would like to extend very warm welcome all the participants who are coming from different universities, different states and different places to this 2-week national level capacity building program organized by the Department of Commerce and sponsored by the Indian Council of Social Science Research in New Delhi. This 2-week national level capacity building program in social science research, it is an integral part of the progress and development of social science research in India as well as abroad. So we have been working for this program for the last 6 months since from our application to the ICSR. And also we have organized the same kind of program in the year 2019 in the Department of Commerce. That program was a research methodology course. So the research methodology course, that is a 1-week research methodology course, that course was meant for researchers in the social science, those who have registered for research or those who are pursuing research in the social science. But this program, capacity building program, which is similar to line of that program, but this program is meant for not only to the research scholars, but also for newly recruited faculties in the social science department as well as research scholars. Therefore, now this capacity building program is a capacity building of research scholars capacity building of teachers, capacity building of institution, and in turn, it is a nation building program by providing quality education and quality research to the society. So therefore, it helps to improve the research and teaching ecosystem in the university as well as higher education institutions. So the specific objectives of this program. So the ICSR has identified 4 important specific objectives of this program. The objectives are, to create awareness among young social science teachers as well as young social science researchers about the recent developments, recent trends in the social science research, recent methods of the techniques of the statistical tools, techniques and software packages, latest version of the various tools and techniques of the social science, as well as the teaching pedagogies in the social science faculties and department. And also, one of the very important objectives of this program, so you will going to learn maybe in the coming days, so to provide hands-on experience, so learning as well as so you have to, the theory and practice go hand in hand here. So experience with the advanced software packages. And also to promote data-based, evidence-based research in social science. The study shows that more than 25,000 theses submitted to various universities in India in the social science. Of them, only 40% of the research based on the study-based, or remaining 60% either conceptual analysis or theoretical based. Therefore, ICSR more focus has been given to the data-based or evidence-based research in the social science. In addition to that, the capacity building program, this program is not only for developing the research skills among the research scholars, but also the academic writing. So the academic writing, nothing but the research papers or writing research proposal to the different funding agencies, and also by using the advanced software packages. So after completion of this program, so you will have 2 weeks program, 12 days program. So this after completion of this program, you will be able to get in-depth knowledge in social science research as well as so its implications in the decision making process. And also you will be able to learn, able to use the robust analytical software such as the new version of the statistical package for social science. You are going to learn the SEM, EMOS, ARS program, eViews, as well as Jamovi, etc., etc. The recent developments in the social science research packages. And also you will be able to handle the univariate, bivariate, multivariate analysis in the social science statistical techniques. This program is also useful to you for academic writing. Therefore, as ICSR has identified some of the specific objectives and also learning objectives and learning outcomes. So after completion of this program, so you are going to learn so many new packages, latest recent developments in the social science, etc. So in order to achieve these objectives, so we have invited resource persons from the states, all the universities from Karnataka. You have a resource person. You have a resource person neighbor states. We have invited a resource person from Kerala University as well as Tamil Nadu state universities and also Andhra universities to this program. And including the international resource person, the Professor Nagaraj Nirchal, professor in mathematics and statistics, is a consultant, currently is working in the Baltimore, USA. He is available online on 25th of this month, online, to discuss with you about the statistical methods, past, present and futures. So, in total, there will be 36 sessions in these 12 days. Every day, there will be 3 sessions, morning 2 and afternoon 1. And after that, you have a practical classes. And 36 resource persons will coming from different part of the country to deliver the research methods, teaching pedagogies, etc., etc. So, in addition to that, this time you have received this time we got a overwhelming response we have received more than 100 applications to this capacity building program when comparing to the research methodology course in the year 2019. So we got a very good response. But as per ICSR regulations, so we cannot select all the 100 applicants, but we have restricted, as per the ICSR guidelines, 10 within the state, 10 outside the state, and 10 local. But it is a discretionary power of the course coordinator to give more, to include more local candidates to this program. So we have given opportunities to our local candidates, more candidates. So 10 we have selected within state, 10 outside the state, and around 30 local candidates. And now you have to follow the rules and regulations of the ICSR. ICSR has specified certain rules because you have to present your research proposals or you have to present your funding proposals at the end of this program. At the end of the program, there will be exams, means we have to conduct the exam and we have to submit the result to the ICSR about your performance in the course. So therefore, the exams will be conducted. So will be held both online as well as offline. So you have to write as there is a descriptive part and also multiple choice part. So therefore, there will be exam, there will be a group discussion, there will be a case analysis, there will be a library visit. All those things are there. But practical exposure is also available in this course. And at the end, you will be here for another 2 weeks, 12 days in the Mangalore University campus. And you will be provided almost all kinds of facilities in the Mangalore University. You will be provided hygienic food, very good accommodation for outstation candidates. You will be available 24/7 network, so Wi-Fi facility, library facility. We have a digital library facility, and you have a very greenery campus in the Mangalore University. Therefore, so it is my sincere request to all the participants, you make use this opportunity for the development of the research, for the development of the quality research and quality teaching aids. And also, it is my sincere request to all the participants who are coming from different places, different universities. So you have to follow the Mangalore University regulations, Mangalore University rules. Mangalore, you have to maintain the discipline during your stay in the campus because you have to uphold the dignity and decorum of the Mangalore University. And also, you have maybe during these 12 days or 2 weeks, you have many kinds of problems. But you have a problems maybe some, but we have a very good team in the department, so you will be provided all kinds of services. Whenever you have a problem, you please contact our team members. But it is my sincere request, don't be a part of the problem, be a part of the solution, because it is not possible to solve your all problems. But we have some minor problems here and there. But my sincere request, be part of the solution, don't be a part of the problem. And take away something from this course to your working place, to your institution, to your research work. And with these few words, I wish you all the best. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for the valuable information regarding research methodology course and the capacity building program. Darkness can be destroyed by light. Likewise, knowledge erases the ignorance. May I request Professor P. Subramania Edapadithaya, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Mangalore University, to inaugurate the program by lighting the lamp along with the dignitaries on the dais.
Now I kindly request Professor K. B. Rangappa to address the gathering.
Honorable Vice Chancellor and President of this function, Professor P.S. Edapadithaya sir, today's guest of honor, Dr. Ismail B., Director of this course, Professor Ishwar, and all the professors on the dais, especially Professor Muniraju sir, Vedav, Preeti D'Souza, all the participants who are gathered here, faculties from various departments, students, friends, good morning to all of you. I think it is a well-known fact that prosperity of a nation depends upon the quality of its citizens, and quality of the citizens depends upon the quality of education. Ultimately, quality of education depends upon the quality of the teachers. If we improve the quality of the teacher, I am sure that we are going to give a lot of contribution to the development of this nation. In this context, I really feel that this kind of the capacity building programs are going to be very useful for the nation building. And just I would like to add some more points, particularly focusing more on how and why these programs are going to contribute for the development of this nation. In support of my view, my dear participants, I would like to draw your attention towards somewhere to 1980s and 1990s, when we, the people of our generation, we were aspiring for the jobs. Particularly if you recall that 1980s and 90s, any employer for that matter, employers were focusing, any recruiting authority for that matter, they were focusing more on your marks and marks cards. But now things have changed. Nobody give importance to, no employer, no organization is going to give importance to the marks that you have secured. But they just look at what knowledge you have, what skill you have. Can you serve the purpose of the objectives of the organization, and so therefore we particularly in the entire education scenario, we have to give more focus on the development of the skills rather than just focusing on this examination, marks and all other things. But unfortunately, still the students, particularly students and teachers who are still in that traditional mindset, they are suffering a lot in this changing scenario. We, the teachers, need to adapt to this new teaching, learning environment in order to make our students employable. And my dear friends, there is growing paradox in the job market. Particularly employers, organization of any kind, organizations or companies, many a times they are complaining that they could not get the suitable people to get recruited. Amidst millions and millions of people, millions and millions of students who are searching for the jobs, and even the time period that is being spent for searching jobs may be 4 years, 5 years, sometimes decades. So it is mainly because the skill created by the education institution is not matching with the skill requirement of the industry. It has led to the skill gap in the economy. And I would like to bring to your information that very often we are speaking that this fourth industrial revolution is again contributing a lot to bring change. The industry's expectations about the skill from the student is going to change. That I mean to say, the industrial expectations from the student is changing. It is not only changing, it is not that the skill requirement is changing, and it keeps on changing constantly. And just to mention some of the most important few futures of this fourth industrial revolution is, and the automation of traditional manufacturing and industrial practices, using modern smart technology, large scale machine to machine communication, M2M used to say that, and the Internet of Things are integrated for the increased automation, improved communication and self-monitoring. So these are the things which are bringing lot of changes in the skill requirement in the industry. And in fact, this technological innovation have led to the supply side miracles with long-term implications on the productivity and efficiency in the economy. And with this supply side miracle have not only reduced the labor requirement for the direct employment, but they have reduced the labor share in the national income, which is likely to affect the effective demand in the economy. And probably if it is going to be happen, if this supply side miracle, I mean, even we used to say, in economics theory we used to say that if there is investment, it will create employment. No doubt, investment will bring more production, but is it possible to generate more employment because of this automation, application of artificial intelligence, usage of robotics, all these things? No doubt they bring supply chain miracles. We could produce more. We could produce more with the less people. So this is going to add more to the challenges in the job market. And this ongoing supply side miracle not only bring change in the skill requirement in the job market, but it is also keeps on changing constantly. For that, actually, even very recently, World Economic Forum, in its Future Job Report, it has clearly mentioned that technological breakthroughs not only replace the human beings with the machineries, but also increase the demand for the human resource with new kind of skills. I would like to emphasize that no, there is no dearth of jobs, but there will be new kind of jobs are creating, but new kind of jobs are creating for the people with new kind of the skills. That is very, very important. So therefore, what I mean to emphasize here is, in this changing environment, job aspirants have to regularly update their skill to keep themselves employable. Even higher education institutions and its teachers need to be highly responsive to meet the changing skill requirements of the youths. And in this context, probably you might have aware that, see, we in most of this kind of, the traditional universities, we are not able to cope up with this change. But you could have observed that premier institutes are better utilizing these opportunities. You might have seen in the probably you might have received the notification now and then regularly. Even probably some IIMs, IITs are conducting some online courses on this data science, data analytics, and so on and so forth. Very recently, one of my scholar who is doing PhD under my guidance, who is also JRF, he come and told me that, sir, why sir, you are also in NEP, you are also one of the subject expert in NEP. Why sir, why you are not able to update the syllabus in our curriculum? See sir, I am hailing from a very poor background. Analyzing the industry, I came to know that I could not be employable through the kind of degree we are getting. But what I am doing now, sir, so I registered for data science in IIT Madras. Sir, for that I have paid 1 lakh rupees, sir. For that I have paid 1 lakh rupees. You have also that skill. Sir, why can't you bring the same thing in your curriculum, sir? Why can't you do it? And when he told me that, I just smiled at him and I expressed my helplessness in this regard. We know how difficult it is to bring all those changes in our university environment, and probably Professor, our Vice Chancellor is very well aware of the kind of things we are facing, and really and so this technological change not only resulted in fourth industrial revolution but also brought about drastic change in teaching and learning environment. In fact, now we have virtual classrooms, learning apps, augmented reality, robots, and other technology tools which have made classroom more livelier, and particularly the youths who are accessible to this kind of learning resource and technology, they are really feeling that our traditional classrooms are boring and our traditional classrooms are not adding any value to their career building. And as all of you know, this COVID-19, besides its devastating impact on the economy, taught the new way of teaching and learning. And majority of the students, they're just accustomed to new strategy in learning. See, they have this accustomed to the new strategy. If we are not going to update, you can understand the consequences of that. And many of my friends and colleagues expressing that most of the students are losing interest in traditional kind of class. It is coming to the notice of almost all the teachers who are working in the university. I mean, students are expecting something new from the teaching faculties. And besides the easy access to digital resources, MOOCs are gaining importance. On the one hand, academic environment becoming conducive for the distance mode of learning, particularly for non-professional courses. On the other hand, growing gig economy attracting the poor youths. See, very recently, Niti Aayog, in its report, India's booming gig platform economy, it has estimated that 7.7 million workers are already engaged in gig economy. By the year 29-30, this number is expected to expand to the close to 25 million people. See, kind of job, we were still in the traditional mindset that, oh, this is permanent kind of jobs and other things. I'm sure that if you look at the changing technology and the changing job market, changing kind of this, the kind of things, the people in the traditional kind of teaching higher education institution, it is a big challenge to all of us. We have to be mentally prepared to face this challenge. And over the years, this rote learning is definitely, over the years, this rote learning will disappear. And teachers' role is not just to transfer the information either to what we were doing. And in fact, there are alternative sources for the information at this juncture. Higher education institutions, particularly the teachers in higher education institution, and of course, we need not worry that, my intention is not to create fear in you. I want to highlight that there is change. I want to inform you that we have to be mentally prepared for change. And definitely there will be big demand for the teacher. But what kind of teacher will be in demand in the future? I'm sure that in the years to come, there will be more demand for the teachers who are having a lot of innovative skills, who are inculcating diagnostic skills among the students, who are very good at analytical things, critical things. If you are good in this kind of things, definitely sure that you will have still better opportunity than what you are having today. And on the, my dear friends, on the one hand, this NEP, New Education Policy, is focusing more on student-centric approach. On the other hand, technology widen the learning options to the students. If teachings of the teacher is not of contemporary relevance, he will lose his customers. Even institutions probably higher education institutions of traditional kind will have to suffer a lot with this change. And based on the historical evolution of the information technology, the prevailing information asymmetry in the higher education will definitely disappear. And the practice of this kind of, we know this, what kind of cheap popularity practices many of the teachers are following. If we try to, of course, we know the difference between good teacher and popular teacher. Good teacher will serve the students, will take care of the future of the student. But popular teacher finds some cheap populistic way how to make the students more attractive towards him and how to misguide the students. I am sure this kind of, this is mainly because we are enjoying it because of information asymmetry. This technology, you know that the technology has brought, the technological revolution is eliminating this kind of asymmetric information. It will not be there in the future. And teaching is, in this regard, we the teachers need to, as far as the research is concerned, always we speak that, see, to teach in higher education institution, we must be very good researchers. Research is not only helping us to update our knowledge in the area of our discipline, but also it inculcates many things. It enables us to understand the innovative things. It enables us to become more critical. It enables us to be more innovative and all the allied things. But unfortunately, you know that I need not explain the story of we try to publish not for the academic joy, but for the API. Nowadays, if you speak of API, people believe, we do agree, API is a good indicator of your performance if it is properly done by you. In fact, it is very sad to know that API is becoming something like a marketable tool, marketable good. I know, I'm sorry to say that still, if this thing is going to be happen, I'm sure that the people who really feel that, oh, this API, I can buy the API. If you gain the API, sure that you will survive for the long and you will be, your strategy will be sustainable. If we are going to follow this kind of practice, sure that you will have to face a lot of difficulties in the coming years. And my dear friends, teaching is a very peculiar service. Peculiar service in the sense that it is the only service where the students are not complaining. Whenever there is service failure, let there be service failure in the health sector. See the fun. If some doctors is responsible for the death of a patient, people will beat him. You will scold him and they will take action against such doctors. If there is failure in the teaching, in my 25 years of experience, none of the students complain about the teacher who are not engaging the class. And in fact, many of the students, they become more popular. If you are not going to engage class, you will become more popular among such students. This is the kind of peculiarity of this education service, I tell you, my friends. And it is like something, see, education is not going to benefit immediately. That is the greatest problem. Education is not going to the customers benefit immediately, but education gives the benefit in the long run. But in the long run, students are not going to focus more on the long run. Their focus is only on the short run. As that is the reason why many of our teachers are taking advantage of it. If we are going to do it in the long run, we have to suffer in this. We have to suffer in this, I think. And my dear friends, at this juncture, it is very important for the teachers to keep on updating his or skills to face the emerging challenge in the higher education market. It is also very important to practice ethical values in our life, because preaching ethical value is of no use. Preaching ethics is of no use. It is what I am observing. But practicing ethical value will influence students to follow you. I mean, it is one of the greatest tragedy in the present contemporary situation. We try to preach, but we are not following. Students are very intelligent. They are observing what you are practicing rather than what you are preaching. And I would like to conclude my speech on the relevance of this capacity building program in the present context by reciting a very, very popular quote on the education. Destroying any nation does not require the use of atomic bombs or the use of long-range missiles. It only requires lowering the quality of education and allowing cheating in the examination by the students. If you destroy the education, if the education quality suffered, if there is morality in the economy, sure that economy will have to receive a very big hit. And the collapse of education is the collapse of the nation. And if we are all, my dear friends, we are all, this capacity building program can help in improving the performance of one more thing, this capacity building program can help in improving the performance of the poor performing teachers, PPTs, poor performing teachers. But only morality can make the non-performing teachers to perform. We have NPTs also. We have many NPTs, non-performing teachers. Non-performing teachers, only the ethical values can make them to perform better. And with this, in fact, while using this PPT, I recall, even while making up my mind using this kind of term, I really recall my early career. Actually, I started my career in 1998. During this 2000 to 2005, in fact, if I speak, it's mainly because of Professor Edappadi, and that credit also goes to Professor Edappadi. Because I'm not saying that I am in this place. I'm saying it from the bottom of my heart and with great honesty. Because in between 2000 to 2005, I listened to Professor Edappadi for some 2 to 3 lectures, and during those days, when I was listening to him, I was dreaming, I would be speaker like Professor Edappadi, because he was so inspiring and he was so influential in his speech. Even many a times I discussed with Professor Ishwar also. When I was colleague of Ishwar for some 5-6 years, we used to even we were using what is that SID. There are certain important words which we were very impressed during those days. Once again, and lastly, we all gathered here, including me, because university is paying me TADA. It is funded by ICSSR. We all gathered here at the cost of taxpayers' earnings of this, taxpayers' earnings of this nation. Let us do justice to our duties. With this, thank you one and all. Thank you all.
Quality of education leads to the prosperity of a nation, and the quality of education is determined by the quality of teachers. So to improve the quality of teachers means building a strong foundation for the development of a nation. Thank you, sir, for enlightening us with your knowledge.
Now I kindly request our guest of honor, Dr. Ismail sir, to address the gathering. Thank you.
Respected Honorable Vice Chancellor sir, Chief guest of this morning, Professor Rangappa sir, Director of this program, Professor Ishwar, faculties of Department of Commerce, Dr. Vedav, Professor Muniraju sir, Dean, Faculty of Commerce, Preeti Madam, my dear colleagues in the Department of Commerce and other sister departments, dear students of Mangalore University, and importantly, the participants of this program. I will not take much time because the Vice Chancellor may be very busy. Being a president, he has to listen to all of us. I love to be one of the participant in this program because when it is a pleasure to share my participation along with our Honorable Vice Chancellor, sir. I was telling him while coming, it is a pleasure to be one of the member in the function. Let me briefly classify my talk into two parts. One will be on competency-based education, and another one will be the research. I will not take much time because I have a separate session for you to interact. Maybe on 30th of this month I will be coming back to interact with you. These are the days of competency-based education. Competency is the capacity to apply the various related sets of skills, knowledge, and attitude or ability to perform a critical function. The components of capacity includes knowledge, skill, and ability. NEP or the present education system has taken a revolutionary change, more particularly for a lot of responsibility for teachers. In CBP, what we call capacity building program, educational program, is a system of teaching, learning, and evaluation to apply the skills and make the product having better learning outcome. We have to create a student is to take account of the learning and provide a meaningful, positive learning experience. I don't know how many of the students are enjoying that learning experience. Are we providing that to the students is a question that each and every teacher need to question himself. Lot of developments have been taken place. Lot of energy and effort has been put to see that the quality products we can produce from the university. The teachers, we teachers, are we doing justice for that? Because whatever the policies framed by our great leaders, politicians, and also educationalists, where it has to be effectively implemented. And who are the people who are effectively implementing that? It is we teachers. Are we doing that? It is a question that each and every teacher should ask. Whether we are making the teaching for the overall development of a student. So competency-based education is with a goal of overall development of a student. Are we doing that? Are we giving enough opportunity for the student to present his skill in the learning and also in the course of their application of these skills? Are they doing that? Are we giving opportunities? The students are the learning designers. Students are the learning designers. We must give an opportunity for them to execute, plan, and present the work that they are doing with the skill that I have studied from the topic that we are teaching. Every subject, there are a set of, there is a particular skill which is provided to the student. So, therefore, when we frame the syllabus, the senior faculties will look into the aspects like whether the computing component need to be included in the syllabus. Also, we think whether the particular topic that we have included in the subject will be related to the development aspects. It will teach them the development aspects. So, we try a lot while framing the syllabus. Of course, it is a responsibility of the new teachers, or all the teachers I can say, but more of the new faculty members who has to spend a lot of time in understanding the things. In that respect, you can see that the present education system, while framing the syllabus, we have to specify the program outcome and learning outcome and learning specific outcome. We have to match and identify the competency in each of the subject. So when we do that, we have to see whether we have to evaluate them in various stages. Whether the student at the end, while going out, whether he has attained that knowledge of say, the competence because of the program. So program outcome is very important. So how we can implement it effectively? It is not the one-time aspect that we are giving in the beginning of the syllabus. These are the set of statements. When we look into the learning outcome, we state in the beginning of the syllabus. They are the statements what the students are able to do or able to learn. Is it confined only to the beginning of the syllabus? What do you mean by saying capacity building? What I suggest, what I understand, and what I practiced is this way. In the beginning of the class, I used to tell my students that I am going to tell these points to you today. And at the end, while coming out, I used to ask them, I used to tell them, these are the things that we have discussed today. Now the student has to see whether he has got the appropriate information related to these aspects on that day. And these aspects, whether it has increased their knowledge, developed some special skills, and developed some ability to work, do a specified task. So this we have to practice each and every day. Through that only we can develop a quality product. And this is what I mean by saying capacity building. So each day if you are doing that, you have to do a lot of homework, and the student has to do a lot of homework after attending the class. Are we practicing that is very important. Okay, so program outcome will be there. Whether that program outcome, whatever attained is because of the program is very important. The success of the competency-based education is that whether the student can apply and execute the competency that he has developed in the program to work for the desire, as per the desire of the industrialist or the institution. Because the senior professors and also using the fast performing students' performance, we can frame a new subject, we can frame the syllabus. Definitely we can make use of the fast performing students' knowledge and skill, even though each student will have their own skill, to frame the new guidelines for developing the capacity, for building the capacity. We can make use of that. So while framing such syllabus, we may make use of the best practices introduced by the institution, which will help us to build the competency in the students. Therefore, the major role in capacity building rests upon the teacher who delivers the good, not only the students. We have to see that students will gain this expertise, skill through our presentation in the class. That is the one part I wanted to highlight in this case. And the second point is the very important aspect will be the research. Research, we are generalizing the statement or finding new theory. So generalization of the result and supplement to the existing theory, both are the very required things to improve the quality of life in the society. When you do that, generally when you generalize it, definitely there will be a sort of uncertainty involved, and inevitably statistics should be called for to explain the uncertainty or quantify the uncertainty in terms of statistical error. Maybe because many are scared of statistics, and this capacity building program is one attempt to make all of you be friendly with the statistics, data and data analysis. That is the most important part in your research, because just finding some basic descriptive statistics or inferential descriptive statistics is not sufficient to generalize the things to the population. You will start with the research, with the aim, you set a set of objectives, you decide about the target population, list the inclusion-exclusion criteria, decide about the permissible error, and then you, depending upon the aim, objective, and the error that you can you can permit in the outcome in the decision making, you decide about the sample size, use appropriate sampling methods to get the sample, do it scientifically. You will get data in any way and analyze it and submit. That will not give you any result. Analysis in the scientific way is very much important. Scientific approach for the analysis is one of the important thing which measures the quality of the research. So random sampling, one has to go. You may confuse what do you mean by saying random sampling. There are many sampling methods, but in short I want to say that if you do not know the person whom you are investigating for your questionnaire, before you select them, then it is called as random sampling. You do not know the person whom you are investigating, before you select them, then that procedure will be a random sampling procedure. You have to apply that for many requirements in the application of the statistical test, and also to make the bias minimum. So you apply that, then use appropriate statistical methods. So in the beginning itself, you have to see whether you are using qualitative information or quantitative information from the subjects. So if it is a qualitative, you have one approach for the analysis, and if it is quantitative, you have another approach for the analysis. So you must be very careful about that. And for the given problem, you have to specify what is the study design and what are the inferential methods that you can apply, and then try to find out, after getting the data, again re-look into the methods that you have proposed in the beginning and apply these techniques for the analysis, and finally prepare this and submit in the form of a research paper, submit it to an indexed journal. Just publication is not sufficient. Submit it to the indexed journal, maybe Scopus Index, Web of Science, or you can have other databases like UGC CARE and all those things. You can submit only to those journals which are indexed in these databases. That is very important. So with this few remarks about your direction for capacity building or qualitative teaching and qualitative product that you can generate from the institution, I wind up my presentation here. I will be there for you to present my specific topics on statistics on 30th of this month. I thank you very much for inviting me and interacting with me in the inaugural session. Thank you very much. I thank our Honorable Vice Chancellor also. Thank you very much.
In today's competitive world, education must enable a student's overall development, and creating such an environment is the responsibility of a teacher. So, capacity building program enables faculties for creating such an environment. Thank you, sir, for your supportive words. President and inaugurator of today's program, Professor P. Subramania Edapadittaya.
Very good morning to all of you. The Department of Studies and Research in Commerce of our university, especially under the captainship of Professor Ishwara P, has organized a 2-week capacity building program CBP for newly recruited young faculty in social science, sponsored by ICSSR. Esteemed chief guest Professor Rangappa KB, the guest of honor, and my friend Professor Ismail B, Professor Ishwara P, Course Director, Professor Y. Muniraju, Dean, Faculty of Commerce, Dr. Vedava, Dr. Preeti Kirti D'Souza, distinguished resource persons, worthy participants, friends from media, and ladies and gentlemen. Actually, Professor Ishwar requested me yesterday to speak for some 15 minutes or 20 minutes, he said. Not to manage the gap or the time, but he said, it means I should not speak as a president of this function, or I should not speak more so as the Vice Chancellor, but I should speak as a true teacher. Because basically I am a teacher, that is my DNA, and I belong to you. And that's why I prepared just half an hour ago some 5 pages on the letter. I am not going to read out or tell you all those things. But only I'll handpick a few points, and I have to wind up my show exactly at 11:30. That is the instruction given to me by the course director. That being the case, I start my the talk or something like, presidential remarks, to be precise, with the help of a prayer. Napoleon Nimbour gave a beautiful and meaningful prayer. Oh God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. So what I can change in myself, what I cannot change in myself, you must realize, you must understand, you must internalize, and you should act upon those things. Otherwise, whenever you try to do something, you tend to develop cold feet. No. You are endowed with infinite potential to develop yourself, and sky is the limit. Then the question is capability building a program for newly recruited young faculty in social science. Not pure science, applied science, whatever it is. But whatever you say, ability. What do you mean by ability? Minimum knowledge and skill. I can call it ability. What is capability? Up-to-date knowledge and requisite and relevant skill mix. Not only for today and tomorrow, for the next 10 years. It can be called capability. But we have gone to a step ahead of it, thanks to National Education Policy 2020, that is competency-based education, outcome-based education, OBE. From that point of view, ability, capability, and relevant terminology for me is competency. It's a competency building program, not just capacity building program, to put it in that way. According to NEP 2020, teacher is the game changer. You can make or mar the entire future generation. That is what Professor Rangappa rightly said. It's a nation building activity. The quality of the citizens, that depends on the quality of education. Quality of education is hinging on what you call the competency of the teachers, commitment of the teachers. So that way, teacher is the game changer, and teaching is the noblest of all professions. I am highly blessed to be a teacher for all this time, and the next generation also. I mean, in my next incarnation also, if there is one thing like that, I want to become a teacher. That's my commitment, because I strongly believe in one philosophy called CLID. That's what Professor Rangappa was telling about my acronym, downloaded earlier, So CLID means C-L-I-D. C means continuous, L means learning, comma, I means improvement, D means development. A teacher must be totally wedded to this philosophy: continuous learning, improvement, and development. Without learning, without being a real student, you cannot become an effective or impactful teacher. That is what I understand. Even today, I am a student of human resource management, human resource development, or marketing, whatever you call my thrust areas. Therefore, continuous learning, improvement, and development is my magic remedy or magic mantra to make it happen. I remember the famous words of Swami Vivekananda. Swami Vivekananda rightly said, truly educated person is one who has got the capacity to learn and change. So it means learn and change, two important things. Learn means unlearn what you have wrongly learned all these days, relearn new things, and finally get yourself committed to CLID, continuous learning, improvement, and development. To make this happen, again, learn to change, change to learn, and learn to learn. Learn to learn is called deutero learning. It is the most fundamental of all learning. Are we committed to this process as a teacher? It's a kind of soul-searching question. You need not answer to me, because conscience is the best thing to make you understand what you are and what you are up to, what you want to become. And there's a famous quotation like this, educational institutions are not petrol bunks to pump the knowledge from the textbooks into the brain box of a student. Students should have the motivation to learn and grow. Teachers are merely the stimulators of learning. We can take the horse to the pond, but we cannot make it drink by dipping its mouth. But the question is, are we delivering justice, or are we the main cause for miscarriage of justice in our profession? So it means three things are very, very important as a teacher, Connecting the plug, then only the electricity will flow. Sometimes it will also make awkward noise. My friend knows it very well. Okay. Three words are very powerful words in my life. One is inspiration. Inspiration can happen through the teacher inside the class or outside the class. Or inspiration can happen in an agriculture land by an uneducated but a wiser agriculturist, more compassionate agriculturist. So learning can happen in any way, anywhere, anytime, not ATM. The point is, in that case, you must get inspiration. How many of our students get inspiration in the class? By the teacher, or in spite of the teacher, or otherwise? Inspiration is missing. The main task of a teacher is to inspire the hearts and minds and little soul of a student. Second one is aspiration. Aspiration of a learner. So inspiration should be connected to aspiration. Then again the responsibility of the student to connect it to perspiration. No pains, no gains. Then today, according to NEP 2020, three things are again important. Student learning experiences, student learning feedback, and student learning outcomes. It is not the output, it is not the activities. The biggest challenge for a teacher today is how to handle student disengagement, cynicism, and skepticism. Your teaching should not only be informative and educative, but also entertaining. It must be highly engaging for the learners. How to go about it? Experiential learning, yes. David Kolb's learning cycle, advanced in the year 1970, even relevant and very, very useful today. That is, whatever you get experience, 24 hours, 24/7, 365, experience. First stage is concretize this experience. That is what David Kolb said. Then, after concretizing your experience of our teaching, learning, evaluation experience, it must be connected to the next stage called reflective thinking or reflective observation. A teacher is basically a reflective practitioner. But more often than not, we do not reflect on that. आज का कूली खत्म हुआ, खुदा है तो भला करेगा, चलता है चलने दो. This kind of attitude after completing 1 hour class, 1 hour session. You don't retrospect, don't introspect, you don't reflect on that. Unless you are a reflective practitioner, you cannot excel in your teaching profession. You will be doing more damage than any good to the system. The next stage is, after engaging in a reflective observation, the third stage is abstract conceptualization. You got backup files in your memory. You got stored information. You will be connecting the new input into the already existing files so that you will make it what you call abstract conceptualization process. Then comes what you call active experimentation, toying with the new idea. Once you experiment with a new idea as a teacher, another cycle of concrete experience. That is what virtuous cycle of experiential learning rather than vicious cycle. And ultimately, if you want to teach mathematics to Mr. Peter, you must know not only mathematics but also Mr. Peter. It means learning styles, learning preferences, learning patterns change based on the temperament or the ability or disability of a learner. And today NEP talks about what you call problem-based learning or project-based learning, service learning, blended learning, open learning, 360-degree learning experiences, outdoor learning through internships, projects, mini consultancy assignments, industrial visits, expert lectures, visiting or adjunct faculty, experience sharing sessions by alumni, all these things. So it means student teaching, that's also best practice. Then practicals or simulators, it should be learner-centric. And today we give more importance to formative assessment rather than summative assessment. And we must also understand the role and relevance of Bloom's taxonomy while setting the papers or while honing the skills of a learner. And we have to develop questioning mindset in our students. Because all these days from KG to PG, we have been taught and trained how to answer the following questions. Now there is a paradigm shift, how to question the following answers. Are you ready? And research and publications, yes, ethics, integrity, your moral fabric will assume lot of importance. It means, as Professor Rangappa rightly said, long-term outcome-based perspective should be your Shastra and Shastra. Both it should be. So it means you are the conscience keeper as a teacher. You should be a role model and guard against what you call plagiarism. And we have got anti-plagiarism software. It's an external thing. What is required is your internal ethical compass. You have to listen to your inner voice and carefully watch your inner ethical compass to seek ethical directions. You should be ethical beyond doubt. So unquestionable integrity should be the virtue of this profession. When you do PhD, remember you're all in the field. It's very, very important, particularly after 2023 onwards. Till then, you know, some relaxation is there. But you have to do it. What kind of research? You have to do not repetitive research, but refutative research which will challenge the false dogmas. Normally we ask, what is your contribution in this thesis? Mostly nil or negative contribution. So that is the danger side of it. Therefore, never focus on perfection. I am not perfect, you are not perfect, even God is not perfect. Your focus should be on excellence. Excellence is not an act but a habit, as Aristotle rightly said. It means put your best foot forward. That is excellence. So it means you have to create, build, maintain and sustain that kind of learning atmosphere inside the classroom and also outside the classroom as a teacher. So your mentoring, counseling, transformation, leadership is very, very important. You should be universally compassionate. And you have got passion for better teaching. That is possible only when you are understanding the difference between human being and being human. That is what is the need of the hour today. Ultimately and unfortunately, qualification is not equal to competency. That is what we make it understand in a particular manner. You are qualified, but you are not competent. It is not what you call your CGPA or first rank. My first rank did not help me in any way. Sometimes it injected me what you call complacency or arrogance. Both are two enemies of a teacher, coming in the way or standing in the way of creating, building, maintaining, sustaining the culture of excellence. Therefore, I was well reminded of this danger, and I am carefully watching that danger. That's why what you understand, this is very important, and time is up. I can go on talking like this because I am basically a teacher. Then all extra fittings in the Maruti car. Thank you very much. All the best. Jai Hind, Jai Karnataka.
Continuous learning, improvement and development must be the secret mantra of teachers to make the students grow in love with education. Inspiration, aspiration and experience must be present in the classroom for the overall development of the students. Thank you, sir, for such a wonderful talk. We have been inspired by your words. Now, may I request Professor Ishwara P, Course Director of the workshop, to give a memento to the President, Professor P. Subramania Edapadithaya, as a token of gratitude. Thank you, sir. Now I request Professor P. Subramania Edapadithaya, Vice Chancellor, to give a memento to the Chief Guest, Professor Rangappa KB, as a token of appreciation. Thank you, sir. Now I request Professor P. Subramania Edapadithaya, Vice Chancellor, to give a memento for the Guest of Honor, Dr. Ismail B., as a token of gratitude. Thank you, sir. Thank you is a word which fills the gap between hearts. May I request Miss Ankita M. to propose vote of thanks.
A very good morning to one and all gathered here. Thank you is a precious wish that cannot be seen or touched, but it must be felt by heart. I, Ankita M., final year student of Department of Studies in Commerce, it's my privilege to get the opportunity to propose a vote of thanks on this special occasion. Let me first of all start by giving glory to the Lord Almighty for making today's program a success. I would like to thank the president of today's program, Professor P. Subramania Edapaditaya, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Mangalore University, who spent his busiest time gracing the occasion. Today we had the opportunity to hear your thoughts, and this is definitely encouraging us in our future events. Thank you, sir. I would like to thank all the honorable delegates who blessed us with their presence and shared their opinions and findings today. I am also very much thankful to the chief guest of today's program, Professor Rangappa KB, Professor Department of Economics, Davangere University, for giving excellent remarks. Thank you for being with us. We are grateful to have Dr. Ismail B., Head of the Department, Enopoya University, as the guest of honor. Your thoughts have enlightened our minds. We are indeed inspired by your words. Thank you, sir. I would like to thank our Dean Faculty of Commerce, Professor Y. Muniraju, sir, for his presence and guidance. Thank you, sir. I would like to thank our beloved Chairman of the Department of Studies in Commerce, Dr. Parameshwara sir, in his absence. I would like to convey deep regards and hearty thanks to our course director, Professor Ishwara P. Thank you, sir, for the support and guidance you have extended to all of us. We are grateful to have with us Dr. Vedava P. for his words of encouragement. Thank you, sir, for inspiring us with your words. I would like to take this opportunity to place on record our hearty thanks to Dr. Preeti Kirti D'Souza. Her guidance has always encouraged us. Thank you, ma'am. I would like to thank all the distinguished invitees as well as the participants for accepting our invitation and showing interest in our program. Special thanks to all the research scholars for their stewardship, support, vision and commitment towards this conference. I'm very much thankful to all our faculty members and staffs who always stand by us and motivate us. I thank you all. We have been fortunate enough to be backed up by a team of very motivated and dedicated student committee and volunteers. I thank them for their involvement. I would like to thank all the media personnel for their active participation. Last but not the least, I thank you all my friends for your cooperation. If time is money, then today you have spent millions for us. Once again, I thank you all for your attention. Thank you.
Thank you, Ankita. Age is just a number and learning is a continuous process. With this thought, I would like to thank everyone. The sessions will begin shortly. Thank you one and all. I would like to request Professor Ishwara P. to escort the dignitaries of the dais.